Hey.
Lauren here.
And Ben.
We're back.
We are.
We are here today. We're going to try...
We're going to do a top 5 for
Ben,
the first time.
This is a Ben video. Because, yeah, we're going to do top 5 of his favorite author.
My all-time favorite author, Stephen King.
Yeah.
I've been agonizing over this decision all day. I was at work. I took a picture of my shelves just so I could look at the ones that I have. And I've been going back and forth all day. So I finally just had to cut myself off. And here they are.
Are you doing honorable mentions?
How many honorable mentions do I get? Because I have like 7.
You can do honorable mentions.
All right, I will do a couple honorable mentions for sure. Okay. You can see part of my Stephen King collection.
Yeah, we're in a new place, guys. This is Ben's area. This is totally all Stephen King on the shelf.
This is the little book nook that she got me.
Check out my book nook. I got him.
With a crazy amount of detail. The door says Red Rum. You can see a little sticker of Jack Nicholson sticking his head through. So.
And it actually lights up. How cute.
Yes.
How cute is that?
That was a birthday present.
Although, spoiler alert, I don't think that you picked that one.
That's not on my list. No.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
You
might get some...
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so I stand by this selection for at least the next 5 minutes. If you ask me again, it'll change. But here they are.
I'm not... we're gonna
You've
get
probably
canceled.
read.
We're gonna get
you
canceled.
may have read one of these, I think.
Okay. Well, if they're the chunky ones, I have not read them.
Not all of them, but they're not. They're not the smallest.
Hot
either.
take: Stephen King's okay. Not top. We might lose some people here. That's a hot take, but okay.
Number 1, I have to go.
Wait, are you starting with number 1 or number
1? Should I do number 5?
Do number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
I don't even know what that is.
This is the second book in the Dark Tower series. I really wanted to pick The Gunslinger, so this is one of the ones I went back and forth, because I love the Dark Tower series. The Gunslinger is a phenomenal book. Best opening line of all time.
Is this the Western one?
It's fantasy Western horror.
Sounds
It's
awful.
His magnum opus. It's an entire collection of like everything that...
Everything I don't like.
Yes.
Western, fantasy.
It's got something for everybody. The comic books are phenomenal.
What does it have for me?
If anybody's ever... There's a little dog character, a dog-ish character named Oi. That everybody loves.
Okay, that's cute. Okay, that's cute.
But I had to go with number 2 because it is my favorite in the series, The Drawing of the Three. Some of the characters have stuck with me. Some of the scenes live in my head even 20 years after I read them for the first time. So that's number 5 is Dark Tower 2, The Drawing of the Three.
Okay. Number 4.
Number 4. I had to. You can't talk about a Stephen King top list without including some of his short stories because he does, in my opinion, some of his finest work in short form.
Again,
so I'm
not a short story girl.
Night Shift, his first published short story collection, which includes Children of the Corn.
Does it have, okay. I love Children of the Corn.
Jerusalem's Lot. I Am the Doorway.
I don't know
this is tough because I love some of his other collections that came a little bit later than this too. Some of my favorite short stories are not in here, but this is, I think, probably his best collection just because it was the first one and it's got a few of his all-time bangers in here.
Is this the same?
Look at this lineup. I hope that's not backwards.
Yeah. Is this
Jerusalem's Lot, Graveyard Shift, The Mangler, The Boogeyman they just made, Gray Matter, which they turned into a TV episode of no, that's Dark Matter. The new Creep Show did Gray Matter. Trucks, sometimes they come back. The Ledge, Lawnmower Man. I love every single one of these stories.
Is that the book that had does it have a cover with like a hand?
Yes, so I have a paperback. I'm going to go get it now. See what you're doing to me?
Isn't it beat up? Like, that's what I was going to
No. So I used to keep a copy of this book with this cover. This is like the, what do they call it? Step back art. So you get that, and then you open it up and you see the hand. I had a cover that was just the hand. and had the step back.
And it's beat up.
It fell apart. I read it literally, and I've done this with at least 10 of his books. I had a paperback copy when I was younger. Read it until it physically fell apart. I would duct tape the covers back on. The spines would be shattered. Pages would fall out. I used to keep a copy of this book in our car, or in my car.
That's probably why I recognize it.
It was in the little well on the door in the driver's side of the car because I always wanted to have it nearby so I could read it if I had time to read it. So this book traveled with me. Not this exact copy, but this book traveled with me for years and years everywhere I went.
Okay, 3.
Number 3, Pet Sematary.
Now I've read this one, you guys. I've read this one.
The world's finest
You don't want to go down that
example
road.
of grief horror. Yes.
From the movie.
The actual scariest book, in my opinion, that he's ever written.
And
the
that's
whole
what got
thing
me
just
to read
works
it,
so
because he said
fantastically. Yeah, he goes for broke. He goes straight for the jugular right from the beginning, and it's terrifying and awful.
Have you
and
reread
so
it
much
as
fun.
a parent?
You know what? I reread it whenever I bought this particular hardcover copy, which was probably 9 years ago. So that's a no.
Ooh, I bet it hits different.
I'm dying to
I bet it hits different.
Do the audio version read by Michael C. Hall, the guy that played
Dexter.
I've heard so much good stuff about that, so it's on my reread list.
This was a good book. Tell him the scene. He talked up this one scene, and I don't. Is it a spoiler? It's
a bit of a spoiler, but there's a particular scene where he describes seeing a person down the road.
Don't spoil too much.
I mean, I think most people know that it's about resurrection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being brought back to life. And there's a particular scene where there's a character down the road that has been resurrected. And the way that it's described, because this person is not supposed to be alive, but you see them down the street, has never left my head.
And that's what got me to read it. You've told me that, and now see, that scene didn't get me so much, but there's another
scariest thing I've ever read.
There's another scene where is it his wife who had a bad childhood, and the sister was like
Zelda.
crawling down.
Zelda's terrifying.
There was a scene in there that there's like a sister that's crawling down.
She has really bad, I think it's scoliosis or some kind of infirm.
Now that was very creepy.
Yeah.
Very creepy.
Yeah. So there's so many layers to that book. You can't not love that.
2.
Number 2, the last Castle Rock story, the one and only Needful Things. I love this book so much that I wrote an homage to it. Yeah. The character
self-promo, guys.
The character Leland Gaunt remains my favorite villain of all time. And the way that it just kind of drives at the heart of human corruption and what makes people turn on each other, and how easy it can be to turn a good person into a bad person. Just the whole concept floored me. The characters are fantastic. The town is its own character. And I think his final love note to Castle Rock, where so many of his stories took place, is he just blew the thing to pieces. And the whole town blows up at the end.
Now that's a chunker, so that's a little bit beyond me. But no, I gotta self-promo. Right, no. If you guys liked Needful Things, check out Ben's book, you guys, because
My Novel Home was written.
Your characters are just.
It was written in large part as an homage to Needful Things.
Yeah.
I wanted to do Needful Things, but do it in a funeral home, a more, I guess, a dark setting.
And if you don't do it for Ben, read this book, because our personal dog, our rescue greyhound Cowboy, is a character. And if you order from him directly,
Cowboy website
will send you a potograph.
Yes. Cowboy loves to sign books because he gets a little foot massage.
Okay. Wait, are we on number 1?
We are on number 1, so you're not going to be surprised at all. Surprisingly, I only currently own 3 different copies of this book, but there's a couple more that I want to get because there's so many cool editions of it. And we were lucky enough to go to an event recently, book launch for the anthology that honored this book.
Check out our other video.
Book of all time. Yeah. Not only my number 1 Stephen King book, but my number 1 book of all time, The Stand. You cannot argue that The Stand is the finest character work that I think a writer has ever done. And you always bring up Whoopi Goldberg, but
That's all I know about it.
You won't watch the miniseries with the one from the 90s that does not have Whoopi Goldberg.
I mean, end of the world stuff is not my thing.
Yeah. Well, the end of the world just happens in like the first 50 pages. And after that, it's, I mean, if you've watched our video where we were on the road traveling to Detroit for that book event, you'll hear me talk a little bit more about The Stand. So I don't know if I want to repeat things I've already said, but like
Walking Dead is good for the end of the world.
Every single character in here is great.
He's not listening.
I don't care what you're saying right now. No, you got me talking about this.
He's Ben-splaining.
Look at how cool this edition is. Right, it's got the gold edges.
It is pretty. I got you that.
That was a gift you gave me too.
I got you that, and I got you that.
I've got this one. So I'm not going to talk about like maybe the book itself as much as my experience and why it's my favorite book of all time, because it's
made you a writer,
it's a part of my life in a way. Yes. So when I was probably like 13, maybe 12, I was on a trip with some friends. I think it might have been like a scout trip or something. And we went to a flea market and there was a booth full of books. So they had these big, long boxes full of books and I was rifling through. And at the time, I was reading all the stuff that most kids were reading in the 90s. If they were into horror, Goosebumps, Fear Street, Christopher Pike. And I loved all of that, but it was almost just like I tore through them too fast. I wanted a longer book and I didn't know that such a thing really kind of existed. I had a friend whose mom had like this really cool Stephen King collection, but I was always too nervous to like start them. So I found a copy of The Stand. I don't think this is the exact same copy, but it was missing the dust jacket. Yeah. So it was one of these like earlier editions, and it was like $2 or something crazy like that. And I picked it up, and I think I read it 3 times in a row without reading anything else in between. And it felt like it was 500 pages instead of 1,200. Like it just flies. Have you read?
Isn't there an abridged edition for people like me? Isn't there? It was
originally released. The publisher made him cut about 400 pages out. I've never read the abridged version. I don't have it here. I have downstairs an early book club edition that I just recently got from the Cincy book rack. That is the abridged version. No, it's not signed. Oh, okay. But it's a very early edition, and it is the abridged one. But when it originally came out, it was shorter. And because he's Stephen King, he eventually got to go back and release the whole thing uncut. So classic epic tale of light versus dark, good versus evil, people doing crazy things. There's so many like twists that you don't see coming, people doing bad things, people doing good things, switching sides, all of that. Like when the first thing in the book is 99 point whatever % of the world dying, it's going to be a pretty awesome story. So it's the book that made me want to be a writer.
Okay.
And so for my first then honorable mention, I have to point out Stephen King's memoir / writing instruction book called On Writing. That's the book that made me feel like I could be a writer. Aww. So those two together, like that paved the way for me. I know I'm not alone. There's probably thousands of people who had a similar experience. Like he showed you what you can do, and then he kind of showed you how to do it. So you put those two together, and it's very inspiring.
Yeah.
I'll also give an honorable mention
Tell me there's an honorable mention here that isn't one of his horror, because I think I would probably like the non-horror Stephen King's, like The Green Mile or Shawshank Redemption. Or did he do Apt Pupil?
Apt Pupil and Shawshank Redemption are both in the same collection. So that one could be, I don't know, that one could be. What I really want to give an honorable mention to first, I think, is The Dark Half.
Oh, look at that back, guys. Now
Smolder. Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah. Dean Koontz got nothing on that.
Yeah, right? Look at that.
The Dark Half.
He doesn't have the golden retriever, though.
No, he's got a corgi named Molly. Well, he does now. I don't know what kind of dog he had back then. So that gets an honorable mention. I would say, I'm going to pull this one out. It's a little bit cheating because it's actually 4 novels, but The Long Walk gets an honorable mention.
Is that turning into a show or something?
I'm so excited. They're making a movie. It's coming out pretty soon.
Starring anyone?
Don't ask me that because I haven't paid enough attention. Okay. But I'm really excited for it, and I love that book. I think my third honorable mention would be... trying to remember my alphabet. Misery. Look at that picture.
Look at those eyebrows, man.
Look at that picture, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Misery. My story.
I DNF'd Misery.
Misery and The Long Walk, I have a bit of a side tangent about, because when I read them, the circumstances under which I read them made it a better experience. So I read Misery.
Oh, yeah, I know this
story. The part in the beginning where Paul Sheldon has been in the car wreck and he's slowly coming to in Annie Wilkes' house, and his legs are all jacked up. And it's just pages and pages of describing like the pain that he's experiencing and the sensation. I read that section sitting on a really hard wooden bench waiting for the Long Island Railroad in the winter. I was so uncomfortable that it just really cemented the whole experience for the book from there. Like, read this book when you're uncomfortable. Physically uncomfortable.
Fun fact, we lived in New York for a while, and they did Misery on Broadway.
Yep.
So we got to see, it was Bruce Willis.
Yep. And
who was Anne
Laurie
Wilkes?
Metcalf.
Yeah, the sister from Roseanne was Kathy Bates.
Yep. So that
was really cool. Yeah.
So I have a similar story with The Long Walk. I read The Long Walk the first time when I was on a flight to a meeting for work that was out in Southern California. So I was staying at a hotel that was maybe like a mile away from where this meeting was going to be. And I decided the day before when I got there that I was going to walk. I didn't want to hire like do an Uber or rent a car just to walk. Like it's Southern California. It's a mile. I can just, I'll go a little early, right? So the day before I was like, I better make sure I'm not going to be late. I'm going to go walk now so I know where I'm going tomorrow. And it was really windy up this weird little foothill and I got lost. So I ended up this like 30-minute walk turned into like a 45, almost an hour-minute walk. And I had just read the long walk, an hour, 45-minute walk. It was much longer than it was supposed to be.
Okay.
And I had just read the long walk on the plane.
Just as that story was much longer than.
Do you mind? So my advice is read the long walk and then go get lost on foot because it really kind of cemented the experience of the characters. Okay. So thanks for taking the sting out of that story. It was a really good story. All right, I'm done.
All right, we done. Okay, so just a couple more notes. The Goosebumps.
You have a list.
I didn't want to forget. we forget things. Okay. The Goosebumps read-along is going to start September 1st.
Yep.
Try to get your first one in. Ours will be, what's it called?
You're reading Welcome to Dead House.
Welcome to Dead House.
I am not. Because I don't want to read that. I just read that one like a month ago. Hold on. Mine will be You Can't Scare Me.
You Can't Scare Me. And try to get that in like a week so that you'll be on track because we're looking 4 weeks for Goosebumps. Yes. So try to get that one in.
Yes.
And start getting us subscribers, guys. Tell your friends because those ghosties
ghost friends you have not met.
And I think we're thinking when we hit 250, you'll meet the third ghost. Yeah. And lastly, I think we should shout out today. Do you have an Edmund Stone book very quickly? Because he has been one of the most supportive people of both of us.
Wait, not that one.
Not that one. One of our best friends, one of the most amazing humans.
So this is a good place to
and
start
great writer.
With Edmund. Yeah. So
good place to start with Edmund.
One of the ones who's best known for.
Well,
yeah, I know you have your.
I have my issues. I have my issues on that one.
He
gets a little spicy,
but it's very weird and very cosmic.
So if you like the spicy, you might be all that. That would be good for the people that like the weird spicy. He really likes Clive Barker. So,
he likes Clive Barker.
So that one. So think homage to Clive.
Yes, and I will point out that Edmund is in the book that I'm releasing in a couple of weeks called Hurt People, Hurt People. So if you don't have any of his books and if you don't have any of my books, you can knock those both out at the same time.
Tell them about Hurt People. This one's an upcoming release, guys.
And so September 12th, I'm releasing a collaborative novel, I would call it. Sort of I guess you could call it an anthology. Myself, Edmund Stone, Gage Greenwood, and Lee Kenny got together to work on a concept that I'd come up with a while ago where each story creates the villain for the next story. So we're calling it Hurt People, Hurt People. And the idea is there's someone that survives the terrible events in each story, but is so traumatized that they then become
evil,
the villain, and they go on to traumatize someone else, and it's a cycle. So my story's about narcissistic med student that gets drummed out of med school and decides he's going to keep practicing surgery outside of the hospital anyway.
It was a good one.
And then obviously somebody survives that, and Edmund picked that character up and ran with it. And so
also Gage Greenwood and Lee Kenny, wonderful, wonderful people.
Yes, some of our best friends. Yes,
and some of the best writers.
Can't go wrong with anything that any of them have.
With any four of you guys, I will say. But all right. I think we're good.
Was that your whole list?
For the next, that was my list.
Okay, she's got the back of a receipt that she wrote on with a marker.
Stop.
But that's our list.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, Booze.